Okay, we will get started. So we put this compliance document review together to be able to get all the vendors together to explain the documentation. Some of you, I'm aware, that may have compliance people in your company that does these things, and some of you do not. So instead of us repeating the same information over and over again, and I have a list of about 28 vendors on this project, we thought we'd get it all together for the next 2 hours, um, explain the documentation, what information goes where, and give you any information you need that we may have. I do ask that you save your questions till the end of the document. After I explain each document, then I will open it up for questions relating to this document. Okay? Does the awarding body is also on the line? Do you guys have any questions beforehand or anything you want me to specifically mention?
Juliet, this is Cherie. I have a question. I know you and I briefly talked about if this meeting will be recorded and could be sent out because I have an appointment that conflicts with this meeting. So I'll only be able to audio the video or the meeting while I'm driving. I won't be able to see things. So is that going to be sent out to us, those that are in attendance, or?
That I am not sure. Like I stated before, I can record it, which I will start soon as I start the presentation, but sending it out, I'd have to go through the proper channels for it because I don't know, we haven't done anything like that before. So I'd have to get back with you on sending it to you.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
good because like I said, I'm going to be driving. I'm not going to be able to see things. And then I have a meeting that I'm completely going to have to log off for. So.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Recording has started. Okay, so we're going to go over the compliance document review. The majority of the documents that we do request in our onboarding consist of the DAS 140, which is this document here in front of your face, and that's an explanation for checking the boxes. The DAS 142, which is the request to dispatch an apprentice. We go over the statement of employer payments, which is also the fringe benefits statement. We go over the payroll reporting form and a non-performance report. That is the gist of it, with the exception of the eCPR that needs to be uploaded to the DIR's website. Okay. So this first document here is the Public Works Contract Award information. It is a document to inform the apprenticeship committees, as you see, to all applicable apprenticeship committees, that you have been awarded a Public Works contract. So it is submitted for information. Excuse me if I pause. I have people still checking in. So your company names goes here at the top with the mailing address. Now, the address of the Public Works project, it actually comes off of the PWC 100. The PWC 100 is the birth certificate for this project. This is the birth certificate, the PWC 100 for this project. So when they ask for the let me go back over, Public Works project, they want the actual project. Project information is right here in the beginning, in the middle. Be Well OC, Orange excuse me, is the name of the project. Here's the address, physical location of the project. That is what goes here in this box for Public Works project. When it comes to the public agency awarding contract, That is also on the PWC 100, and it is this information at the top, Mind OC. Here's their address, state, city, and zip. That's what goes there. And I'll get to this form being sent to in a moment. On the other side, we have the contractor's license. That is your contractor's license. If you do not have a contractor's license, list your Public Works registration number. Here's your telephone number. The date you signed your contract with California Commercial or Mind OC for the project. Your expected date or actual start date of the project. So if you have started the project, your very first working day goes here on this line. If you are expected to start in the future, say May 21st, then we will put May 21st here on this line. Your estimated number of journey hours. Now I want to highlight this. This is all project. So most of you are at will or on call. You cannot really estimate your total hours that you would actually service the client for a year or two. It depends on how long your contract is in force. So let's take 1 year's time. We can guess. Maybe you'll go out once every quarter. Maybe it's once every other month. It could be once a month. It could be every day. It is up to you and your estimated frequency, whatever you use to bid this project. You can create the journeyman hours. Okay. So if I had 100 journeyman hours, then when it comes to estimated number of apprentices, I skip down. We'll go back to the occupation. The estimated number of apprentice hours. We divide the journeyman hours into 5. And that number is the estimated hours of apprentice hours. So if we have 100 journeyman hours, then our estimated apprentice hours would be 20. It is a 5-to-1 ratio all the time. Now, there are 2 exceptions for that. And if you meet that exception, we will discuss it at that time, how you fill out this form. Okay. The occupation of the apprentice is going to be either your laborer, your plumber, your electrician, inside wireman. You have to put the classification and the craft. There's 2. For most classifications, there's 2. There's a trade and a classification, excuse me. So that's going to be your occupation for your apprentice. And then your apprentice hours. Approximate date to be employed. And you can put that 1 year from January 1st, 2024 to 12/31/2024. You can put that date range. If you happen to use a specific format of this form and it would only allow you to put in one date, put in the beginning date. In some instances, I have seen it. Okay. When it comes to the apprenticeship committees, it really depends on your classification and your craft as to which apprenticeship committees these documents go to. So I am going on the website on my other side here, and I'll flip it over. I go to this website. We want to make sure we go to the website that says Apprenticeship Programs Information Guide, Public Work Search. Let me show you the previous. When you go here, this is the opening page. So you want to make sure you go to apprenticeship. Well, not, okay, wait, I done lost it. It's in here somewhere. That's what I get for going to the beginning. Down here. Find an apprenticeship program. and you click that button. When you get here, it gives you the public works search. There is another search that does not say public works, but you want to make sure you're in the public works search. So we're going to go to Orange County, and this is only for our exercise. And we're going to go, I'll go to carpentry, simply because I know there's a lot with carpentry. And here's the list for Orange County. It is in Orange County, right? Let's see. I believe so. I have so much in my head. Orange County, yes. Okay. So in carpentry, I go to the bottom. There are 9 apprenticeship programs listed under Orange County Carpentry for carpenter. And I must send a DAS 140 and a 142 to each one of them. Yes, a lot of them have the same address, but this subcraft does change. We still must create one form for each one of them. We can send them all in the same email, but we have to create one form for each one of them. The only exception for this is if you are union. And I'm not sure if we have any union here. If you are union, then you send it to your union that you're signed with. Non-union, you must send it to each one of these apprenticeship programs on this list. Okay? If you go and let's say electricians, one more. And this particular one has 5. You must send one form to each one of these apprenticeship committees and programs. Email is completely acceptable. Try to get a read receipt. You can also fax it with a fax receipt. You must confirm receipt. So what we do here is we send a read and a delivery receipt. We also print our email sending it to the apprenticeship committee with those 2 documents, and that satisfies compliance. That's what goes here to the form being sent to. When it comes to the 3 boxes down at the bottom, we'll just go to the explanation, which is on page 2. Box 1 is for contractors who are already approved to train by apprenticeship programs, meaning you're signatory to a union. You're already signed up, you're already agreed, you're good to go. You would check box 1. Box 2 indicates that a contractor is willing to comply with a program standards for the current project only. This generally means that the fringe benefits and the training funds will be paid to that committee's trust fund. It also allows a contractor to take advantage of a more generous maximum ratio than the CAC standards, but does not affect the minimum ratio of 1 apprentice hour for every 5 journeyman hours. That's box 2. Box 3 means that a contractor will be governed by the regulations of the California Apprenticeship Council. Generally, generally this means that the minimum and maximum ratio for apprentices is the same, 1 apprentice hour for every 5 journeyman hours per each craft, totaled at the end of the project. It also means that the training fund contribution is usually paid to the California Apprenticeship Council. What we typically see for a non-union contractor is box 3. What that means is that the fringe benefits will be paid to the worker for every hour that he works, and the training amount as applicable per each classification will be paid to the California Apprenticeship Council. On this project, I have seen some check box 2, but I highlight the description in box 2. This generally means that the fringe benefits and the training fund will be paid to that committee. So if you're checking box 2, then I expect for the fringe benefits and the training fund go to the committee you listed on box 2 on the line. Okay? Now, time for questions. Let's see, maybe a raise of hands, and I can call on anyone that may have their hand up. No questions. Okay. Well, that completes the DAS 142, the Public Works Contract Award information. Moving on to the next form, which is the request for dispatch of an apprentice. We call it the DAS. DAS. DAS stands for the Division of Apprenticeship Standards. So DAS 142 form. This form is sent to each apprenticeship committee that you sent the DAS 140s to, the exact same one. When I type this up, where it says fax number, if I'm not using a fax number, what I do is I list the email address there. Okay. Your contractor's information go over here on your right side with your license number and your Public Works registration, phone number, and fax if applicable. If not, then put an email address. Then you have your project information, the PWC project number, which is the project number, DIR project ID number, that number right there, or this number right here, Mind OC. Either one of those numbers, I think it has both. Let me double check. And let's double check. I lost it. Okay. No, it doesn't have both. So it just has the project ID number. You can use either one, the DIR project ID number or the actual project ID number. This is your contract number that's listed on the PWC 100, the contract ID right here. The total contract amount is listed also on the PWC 100, which is this amount here. And your subcontract amount would be your contract amount. Name of the project and address also comes from the PWC 100. Your date of request. Now, you must give at least a 72-hour notice for the date and time to report. You list how many you need, which typically is one. Apprentice. If you're in major construction, we usually do more than just one apprentice. But for you, I think the standard would be one. You list your classification or trade here. If you work in an electrician area, you must list your trade and classification. So it would read electrician, inside wireman, electrician, common system installer, things like that. You have to identify exactly what you need. If it's a plumber, HVAC, whatever the sub trade is, you must list it here so they'll know to send you the correct apprentice. You put your date to report here, the time you want them to report, the name of the person you want them to report to, and sometimes I see a phone number in case they get lost. They can contact that person on site because the apprentice, if they are dispatched, they're given this form. And then the address to report to. Also, these details at the bottom still list that it must be submitted within 72 hours in advance, excluding weekend and holidays. Okay? And that is your request for dispatch of an apprentice. Any questions on that form? Okay, I see no hands. Okay, great. So moving right along. The statement of employer payments or fringe benefit statement. You have your date at the top. The prime would be Mind OC, and then you are the subcontractor. The project name, of course, would be Be Well OC Orange Maint. Your project contract number, that could either be the actual contract number or the DIR project ID number. Either one of those work with the county and the location. A lot of people just put the county like Orange County. You don't have to deal with the refer to case number because there's no cases here. On your wage determination sheet, let's pull up a wage determination. I just did one for someone. 1 second. There we go. This is a wage determination cheat sheet that we create for contractors once we know what their classifications are. So here's the classification carpenter, and here's their subtrade, cabinet installer. On this form, it actually lists the fringe benefits. So looking at this, we have health and welfare at $8. We have pension at $5.66. We have vacation holiday at 7.31 and training at 0.67. And then we have other 2.44. So we're going to take those numbers and we're going to put those numbers here. So if we are paying the fringe benefit to the worker, then under plan, we're going to say pay to employee in cash because it would be included in his hourly rate. That's all you need right here on this line for name of plan. You do not need an address, city, or zip. We're going to list their classification. For this exercise, we're going to use carpenter, cabinet installer, because remember it's a subtrade. And contribution per classification per hour is going to be that $8 that's listed on our wage determination cheat sheet right here. Now, if work happened after, well, yeah, let's go over here. After 7/1, because we have an increase, after 7/1, we're going to list 825 because there was a 25-cent increase. So using current date, we're going to put 825 here. And that is paid weekly to the worker. Same thing for pension, same thing for vacation holiday. Training, the name of plan is California Apprenticeship Council. And then you put the name and address to the California Apprenticeship Council. Classification is the same as above, carpenter, cabinet installer. Contribution per classification per hour. This training had a 5-cent increase, so we're going to list that at 72 cents per hour. Now, the only difference with this one is not weekly. Training is paid on a monthly basis. The training payment is due by the 15th of the current month for the prior month. So we're at May 8th today, so we would do reporting from April 1st to April 30th, and that payment would be due by the 15th of this month. Now, one other thing I'd like to highlight, in this particular classification, they have an other listed, 344, because it was a dollar increase. This form does not have an other listed. You see the headings: health and welfare, pension, vacation, holiday, training. However, in our setup of a fringe benefits statement, if we're drafting it for you, we have other listed. If you are using this type of form, you can split the vacation, holiday, and list other. So on this contribution line, you can list vacation, holiday, and the rate per hour. On the second line, list other and the rate per hour. That is a way to account for it on your fringe benefit statement on your employer payments. Any questions about that? Let's see, do I see any hands up? No hands up. Okay, perfect. Moving right along. On the payroll reporting form, this format is nicknamed, and as you see at the bottom, A1 131. This is the state's payroll reporting form in an A1 131 format. In order for a payroll to be acceptable to the DIR, it must be in this specific format or have all of the information that is contained in this format. So if you have a format already that you can make adjustments to, for instance, if it doesn't have the check numbers, you can maybe add something and say put the check numbers, and now it has all the information in this format. You can use it. If it does not, and the federal form is not acceptable either, you have to use the A1131 format. I won't go into details with this, but one thing I will make sure you list or highlight is make sure you put your contractor's license number, your address, the contract or project ID number, and the location of the project, and the name of the project goes over here. All information for the worker should be complete: name, address, social security number of employee. Name and address, that is a full address, meaning address, city, state, and zip. Number of withholdings if you know it. If not, do not leave it blank. Please list a 0. If you know it, put it there. If you don't, put a 0. Their work classification. So in our example a moment ago, we would list carpenter, cabinet installer. We're not going to just say carpenter, because there's a carpenter by themselves, but then there's also a subtrade cabinet installer. If we are using the cabinet installer, we must put both trades, carpenter and the subtrade cabinet installer. If he's just a carpenter, then just carpenter is acceptable here. Plumber, HVAC, whatever the subtrade is for plumber, because I know there's multiple there. The days of the number of the days for the week ending, you make sure you line those up with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've seen them all kind of ways. So you want to make sure whatever your week ending is, that you have it correct with the specific days. Your total hours is for this project only. A certified payroll report is only reporting for one project at a time. So these hours here will only be reporting the project name you put at the top right. So that would be the total hours that they worked on the public works project with the rate of pay for that public works project. And the hours times the hourly rate equals this project. This project identifying the project we're reporting on for Be Well OC Orange Main. All projects would be the worker's gross on his paycheck stub. All the other information, if applicable, comes from his paycheck stub. You do not separate out unless you're paying him separate checks per project. So he can have this project total of $500, but his check was $2,000, and we list all the according taxes with the training for these hours worked only for this project, because remember it's for this project. The training doesn't necessarily have to come out of the worker's pay because you don't pay it to the training. This is a benefit that the employer has to pay to the California Apprenticeship Council, and it is listed here. So then we would take that 87 cents, sorry, 72 cents times the hours that he worked and put that figure right there under training. If you pay travel and subsistence, any additional amount that's not included in this project, because this is his working hours, not travel and subsistence. We will list travel and subsistence right here on this payroll. This cell is automatically added to the net wages because it's typically a benefit to the worker. So it just adds to his wages. All these deductions go into other. I'm sorry, all these deductions go into total deductions. Now, when it comes to other deductions, if you are paying a portion of the health and welfare on behalf of the employee and deducting it from his fringe benefit payment, that would be a other deduction. Let me repeat that. If you as a company are paying health and welfare, meaning you typically without a public works project, you take care of the health and welfare for Kaiser. You take care of the Kaiser 100%. And the employee don't pay anything. You don't have to report nothing. If they working on a public works job and now you want to take some of the health and welfare benefits and contribute to that Kaiser, two things must happen. One, it must be listed in your employee handbook that if they work a public works job, that the company will use the health and welfare fringe benefit to pay for their Kaiser. Other than that, you cannot deduct it from the employee because on a normal basis, the company pays 100%. Now, the other way to do that is if you have a voluntary deduction form for any deductions. If the worker has a 401k with the company, if the worker has, say, if they borrow money and they're paying back money to the company, if they have, I'm trying to think of different instances, in those two instances, and they're voluntary, then you just have your worker sign a voluntary deduction form for those deductions on his paycheck and keep it on file for this project because it affects his check. Upon an audit, you want to make sure you send that with the payroll. Okay? And that would explain the other. Any other deductions always need to be explained. Now, the other thing with certified payroll, the state uses this notice to public entity as like a certification form. However, we like to add more because it doesn't include, let me turn it, I don't know why I'm looking at it like that. It has to include specific language according to the labor code. So let's show you one of those. 1 second. I should have had all of this open already. Hmm, I don't see one. 1 second. Mm, okay, I know they have one. Mm, they don't. Hmm, that's the ECPR. Nope. Oh, because I don't prepare. Okay, 1 second. Let me grab it. This is what we call a statement of compliance. And I believe I sent this to a few people. This has state language and federal language. We keep it that way simply because we've seen a lot of contractors get audited because they found out later that a project may have had federal funding. So we just keep some of the federal language in there, but it also has the state language. And this is what makes a payroll reporting form certified because of the language, and then you're going to sign under penalty of perjury that this information is true and correct. Okay, so it's called a payroll certification or statement of compliance. Even though we know that the state uses their public, their notice to public entity, we like to give you this payroll certification to use for your payroll reporting form. Okay, let's see. And any questions on this form? Let me get to my hands. Let's see. You guys are awful quiet. Okay. And so when you do not have a live from very first time going out on work, you have now activated a certified payroll report. Until you are complete, every week should be accountable for. Every week being either it's a certified payroll report for that week or it's a statement of non-performance. And that statement of non-performance, this is a draft for it to put in the information. You have your report number, so it's going to be number 2 because we had a certified payroll for number 1. We're going to put number 2, number 3, number 4 ongoing. Even if it's a certified payroll, number 10, and then we go back to non-performances, 11, 12, 13. Or we have payroll for 15, 16, 17, 18. Then we go back to non-performance. We got to keep it consistent. We put the DIR project ID number here, your company's name, address, and phone number. Then we have the project name and location. And then we state during the period commencing on the 8th day of May 2024 and ending, so this end week would be the 14th day of May 2024, we didn't have anyone go out on the project. We did not provide tradesmen on this public works project listed below. Sign in date, print
Great.
name, and phone number. That is a statement of non-performance.
That's too
And you can draft that up yourself if you like. Costco, did you have a question?
okay. That's fine.
Remick?
And I wouldn't have any today.
Okay, so it looks like she was just off of mute. Any questions on that? Let's see. No hands are raised. Boy, you guys are awful quiet. And I think that's it, with the exception of the DIR. So let's go to the DIR. And I can't really show you much other than where it's at. And this is where you would upload your eCPR. You will need the PWC, no, your Public Works registration number and your federal tax ID number. And you'll need the DIR project ID number. You would only need that ID number for the first time unless you don't remember it or you have multiple jobs. So you want to keep those three things handy. Every time you go in the system to create either a payroll or a non-performance, once you complete it, you must click that PDF file after printing the confirmation in order to get your document. If you close that completion, let me see if I can pull up what it looks like. If you close the completed file before getting a copy of that, you would lose your actual copy of your PDF file for the state. And then the only thing that would be accessible to you would be a redacted copy, unless you did the payroll all over again. So let's see. I don't know how to bring one up here. Okay, I think Costco has one. No. So this is a confirmation page right here. After you submit your confirmation page, you must click this PDF file to actually get a record of what you just submitted. If you close this page before clicking this PDF file and saving it, you will lose your original copy of your file. But you must have this eCPR online confirmation as well as this PDF. And that is when you actually do the eCPR for the project on the state's website. Okay. And now I am open for question and answers. Hello, hello. Anyone?
I think we're all here.
Okay, I was like, is my mic working? I've been talking to myself the whole time.
I'm quiet because I've done this quite a bit, so
Wonderful.
not really.
Yes, for some it could be a lot. For others, it's just simple. And then there's some that's in between. Um, the best thing about it is that your awarding body has hired us to assist you. And so this way, getting us all together, letting you know what the base forms are, you know whether you have the capability to do this or not. Is there anyone here that looks at this information and says, nah, I'm good? This doesn't look like something I want to do. Because it does happen. No one? No one. Okay. So in discussing this whole presentation, of course, with my supervisors and our legal department, because we also do compliance and we have a legal department, what we have put together for this project only, and specifically for this project, is, I'm going to stop sharing here and I'm going to stop recording. 1 second, let me stop recording. Perfect. And then I'll stop sharing. There we go. For this specific project, what we've put together is we have multiple services here that we do offer for compliance. And one of them is called a Kickstarter program. Not sure if anyone is interested, but at the same time, we would like to help you. That's what it's all about, is to help you get on board with this project, make it easier in your life so you can be a little bit stress-free. And we want to help you with that. So for today and today only, we would like to offer anyone that's willing to accept our Kickstarter program. What it will include is the preparation of the fringe benefit statement, preparation and submission with confirmation of the DAS 140s, the 142s, and create your wage rate sheets with all increases applicable. Those 3 things. After that, all you have to do is do payroll. That's it. Those are the 3 beginning things. We call that our onboarding process. When we first get a project, we hit those 3 first things. And so we would like to offer those 3 preparation of those documents at a super discounted price for any vendor for a one-time payment of $240 per vendor. Our typical project Kickstarter program is usually $589. But today, if anyone on the line says to themselves, I don't have time for this, I don't want to do it, let's let them do it. For $240, Public Works Compliance Advisors can do it for you. If you are interested, you will have approximately 24 hours to let me know so that we can draft your proposal and we can get it done for you. $240 flat fee, done and out the door. Any questions? Any concerns? Any comments? Well, okay. Okay, we have made that offer. If you'd like to send me an individual message, if you're interested, let me know. I can put you on the radar so that we can get it all done. Okay, well, that ends our compliance document review today. I appreciate everyone taking time to come and attend. And if we can be of any assistance, feel free to email me or call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, they're alive.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for your
Wow,
time.
you too. Oh, sorry, awarding
goodbye.
body. Do you guys have any announcements while we have everyone together? Anyone want to make comments? Sophia, Natalie, Christina, Brent, Paige.
Nothing on my end. This is Brent.
Nothing on my end. Thank you so much, Juliet. That was a great presentation.
Yep,
You're
thank you.
very welcome. Thank you. Okay, well, everyone enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful day.
you.